Hey, you are along for the ride with the Mad Dog and Cole kicking it to the curb. Farrell,
If you're not first, you're last.
amen, preach.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait.
So, first off, the inspiring words of the great Evil Knievel. Props. I believe today is the 20th, correct?
Today is the 20th. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe his birthday may have been the 17th.
Well, happy heavenly birthday to Evil
Yes, sir.
Knievel.
Legend. Legend. Um, we'll hit up our sponsors, our partners. Thank you very much. Kicker Performance Audio. Whatever you need, whether it's your car, your boat, your side by side, your Harley, your V Twin, your cruiser, your sport bike, or personal audio. Kicker has you covered. Kicker.com. Tell them Mad Dog sent you. Righty. Bomber Eyewear. BomberEyewear.com. World famous floating eyewear. Incredibly durable. What I'm wearing right now is full polarized and OSHA approved ANSI 87, I believe, safety lens. And they float and they look cool. So there's that. Hashtag white wraps matter. BomberEyewear.com. Be sure to check out their product line. They have everything you could possibly need. Without further ado, almost spilt my coffee. That would have been a disaster. Let's move into I misspoke. I made a big boo boo. In episode 8, when we were conversing with Wes Kane, which was fantastic, by the way, so much fun, such a great story. I can't wait to have another 2 or 3 or 4 episodes with him. I was talking about Colton Moore's book, Colton Moore, the extreme athlete extraordinaire. And I called it Reaching for the Sky. I totally brain farted. It's actually called Catching the Stars. Look it up. It's on Amazon. Check it out. Order a copy. It's definitely worth getting and reading. That's Colton Moore, Catching the Stars. Thank you, my good friend BC Vott, percussionist extraordinaire, lifetime friend. Thank you for catching that. I appreciate it. So,
And thank you for listening, BC.
yeah, right. Much appreciated. Shout out, homie. We have been, man, I have been busy. I had some time off, but the last weekend, I guess I didn't really have that much time off, a few days. And so it was the annual Anderson Toyota Havasu Classic Formula One Outboard Championships in Havasu. Kicker Performance Audio presented the Friday night cold pit party, meet and greet, driver meet and greet, VIP party, Hall of Fame. I mean, just everything. And of course, official audio of the Anderson Toyota Havasu Classic. So I was called in to go ahead and activate that event. So grateful that I'm actually kind of at home. So it was pretty rad. Thursday was like meetings and blah blah blah. Friday morning early was set up. And thankfully, our Kickers Southwest rep and distributor, Murphco, their local guy, Liam, came out and worked the whole event with me, which was awesome.
Nice. Had some moral support.
Yeah, and extra set of hands, and just makes setup so much faster, cleaner. It's just, and it's nice to just have somebody. The Viking was going to come help me, but she had a case of the sinus, and I said stay home because I'm coming into a busy schedule. So turns out it was allergies, but Havasu has had so many monsoons. It's There's so much shit growing there right now that depending on which direction the wind blows depends on which allergy medicine you have to take, man. It's crazy.
I was wondering where you're going with that. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, man, it's nuts. I'm not gonna lie. So, anyways, Havasu Classic, man. Formula One outboards, dude, insane. They're kind of a diamond, almost like a Diamond D course setup.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. So thank you for lead right into that.
Yeah, yeah, and the F1 boats run upwards of 115 down the front stretch, which was right in front of the nautical marina or nautical resort and marina. Sorry, right there on the island at Lake Havasu, right inside Thompson Bay, and just, dude, insane. There's some pissed off sounding two strokes. Let me tell you, these guys are running like 400 horse on a little tiny boat. It's just nuts.
And what a good spot to have the course at too, where you can almost see it from each side. Sitting on the peninsula, maybe from the mainland and everything. I mean, just they're no dummies when it comes to marketing this race.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And the there was even people out sitting just inside the no wake zone in their boats watching the race. It was super cool. Friday, we actually, even though they were only testing, we actually had a pretty solid turnout of people. We also had Elite Audio Havasu out sitting in the kicker booth with us, and they have older Ranker Flotilla kind of deck boat that they have completely gone through, and it is kickered out. And when they say Elite Audio, dude, insane. I think it's got 25 or 26,000 watts, somewhere around 28 speakers. It's a work of art. Jeff has been doing all kinds of audio stuff for years, all the way from overhauling SEMA builds for Sony, all kinds of stuff, to owning his own marine. All they do is marine.
Oh, okay.
Which is perfect because Havasu, why not? They're great guys, and gal, Jeff, Christine, and Sean. Jeff's boat, I believe, is the only boat, especially sound boat or audio boat, to ever be featured at SEMA.
That's pretty sick.
Last year, yeah, he got invited from one of the base war or base competition guys. So anyways, and people were very impressed. That boat is loud, it plays hard, it plays low. If you want to zoom, you want to boom into zoom, that boat has you covered. Dude, it's nuts. And like I said, they're just great people, So, and then of course, out off the dock, we had Captain Frank and his boom tune. which is a double decker 30-foot. I don't remember what brand, Tritune, that has about 28,000 watts and 44 speakers.
The floating party.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, it really is. It's got a horseshoe bar with actually your favorite taps, beer taps.
Oh, beautiful. Love to be invited someday now.
Yes.
I didn't care before. Now I care.
Yeah, and it's got it's ingenious build. They have storage in the center sponson, if you will, for the kegs.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah. So then you put ice in, you put the kegs in, you cover them in ice. Boom.
This
You
is
got
so
cold
cool.
beer on tap,
This is the kind of technology we need to be investing in.
right? There's a couple of people. So if you're familiar with boat racing, the Seabold name should be pretty familiar, at least to you. And the Seabolds, Tim Seabold is the one that puts on the Formula One boat series. Just crazy wild dude. Amazing history in boat racers. APBA, that's American Powerboat Association, Hall of Famer. Tim's dad is same, amazing, just a great guy. They build their own race hulls that they sell. Crazy, crazy dudes. They built a twin seat Formula One boat.
That's sick. Okay.
Yeah, for like the ride along.
Yeah, that'd be a hell of a ride. It's like when
Yeah,
they do those Mario Andretti ride along F1 double seater cars.
exactly. Exactly the same thing. And Tim was driving at least the day I saw him giving people rides, and he wasn't holding back. I mean, he had
Full
it trimmed.
experience.
Yeah, he had it trimmed up in China, and he was probably running over 100 miles an hour down the straight.
Dude,
Just nuts, dude. I wanted to go for a ride, but it just didn't work out.
not this
Um,
time. Yeah.
no, but it's these little tiny boats, and if you've seen them, they're not that big. They're maybe 16 or 18 feet long.
Yeah, I was looking, the rule book said like I want to say 16. They're not very
Yeah,
big. Yeah.
yeah. That boat, the two-seat boat, has a built what started as a Merc 360, so 360 horsepower outboard that's built. Yikes, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
100
talk
miles an hour
about
in the water is pretty
that's
pretty
fast.
insane. Yeah,
That's
well, yeah.
Hulk.
Yes. Yes, it is fast.
Yeah. So, and then they have Formula One light class. They have the tri-hull class, which is like a street stock class, you know.
Literally 5-point harnesses, a big roll bar over them,
Yes. Yeah.
bashing and
Full-
clanging
Yeah.
on the water.
Yeah, and it happens.
Yeah.
And it happens. And they're still fast.
Yeah, like you said, it's like street stocks on the water. That was a perfect analogy.
Yeah, and they throw up such a weight that by the third lap, you never know. Like, these guys are artists at keeping the boat in the water and right side up. It's just a freaking blast to watch.
Yeah, there's nothing to
Um,
really compare it to, because there's
no,
nothing where it'd be going that fast and the track would be so variable so quickly. It's impressive.
yeah, exactly.
Speaking of impressive, then they have the junior class, which I have the name here. That's let's see, they call it the J Hydros. Did they have those running this weekend?
I don't believe so.
You would know if they did. They basically like canoes where the guys are leaning over the front and battling.
Oh no, they did not. Man, that would have been rad. I definitely got to take in some more of this, you know. I got to do the event last year. I got to do the event again this year. Um, I missed some of the good racing because I was working, you got to work. So I did catch some good racing and some racing Sunday, um, on and off, but for the most part, I was doing what I do.
Yeah.
So
You're always
yeah,
close to the world's best racing, not always
right.
watching the world's best racing.
Exactly. So, oh, I might mention, by the way, I'm currently in Prescott Valley, Arizona, um, and I'm at a very nice Hampton that took pity on me for being a diamond member and actually gave me a room upgrade. So I have a pretty nice little room here. I have the Striking Viking with me this weekend, which should be exciting, should be a good time. Always grateful for help. Um, so,
It's
oh,
always
during, yeah, go ahead.
it's always nice to have a nice room, right? But when you got your co-pilot with you, that's when you want the upgrade. So I say this worked out perfectly.
Yeah, for sure. Super grateful. So, um, so I met this guy at the Havasu Classic. Sorry, the Anderson Toyota Havasu Classic. Whew, man.
Deep breath, man. Deep breath.
Whoo. Okay. So, anyways, I got talking to this guy who was wandering by, and he looked kind of familiar, and we got BSing, and he introduced himself, and I was in shock. His name was Kenny Youngblood, and man, Youngbloods, dude, the Kenny Youngblood. I mean, uh, so we hit it off, and he actually shared a really interesting story with me that I'm going to share really quick because it just gives me goosebumps, man.
Perfect. I was
So,
worried you're gonna say he shared such a cool story. I can't say it on here.
now there might have been some of those, but we're not going there.
Yeah.
So he, one of the many things that he did was he owned a graphics company that did rap and way back, and their primary was dragsters at the time,
Oh, okay.
and other stuff like that. But dragsters was his big real thing, right? Um, he gets a call from this guy, and he wants this wrap designed um, for his. It's in 1978 for his Monte Carlo, because he's just got this big sponsor called Wrangler Jeans.
I know where this is going. This is awesome. Keep going.
So Kenny's like, he doesn't know this guy from Adam. He's relatively unknown dude at that point.
Just saw a
He
nice
come,
mustache and said, "Okay, we can do
yeah,
business."
he comes up with this complete design of the blue and yellow 1978 Wrangler Dale Earnhardt #3.
What a legendary car.
Right? I mean, people don't even have to like NASCAR or care about NASCAR to know what that Wrangler #3 car is, right?
Yeah.
So, and he's telling me, we talked and blah blah blah, and he goes, we stayed friends forever, and he's a super nice guy. I think I didn't charge him enough because I felt bad because he was like working on his own race car and all this, and he said that what's really funny is that he went a couple years ago to the Childress, the RCR shop, and walked in, and the girl was like, oh, would you like to take a tour? He said, no, I would like you to take a picture of me beside this car in the lobby. And it was the original car that he had wrapped.
You know what's
And
funny about that? Like, how do you tell that front desk girl you're like, I designed this and I made this wrap, and she'd be like, okay.
yeah, not only that, he came up with the canter, I guess you'd call it, and design of the three.
Really? Yeah, the legend. I have a Shoei helmet with that number 3 painted on it.
Yeah. So you can thank Kenny Youngblood. He goes, hindsight being 2020, I should have asked for a little royalty on designing that number 3. He goes,
Yeah, now they only make, millions of stickers that you see at NASCAR in
Right?
every third car or whatever. That's cool.
Yeah. So we visited quite a bit on and off because his cooler was in his car out in the parking lot, and of course he was in the VIP area. So he made a few trips out to get his Heineken double lot, which he was like, they're in the car. You just help yourself because I don't drink.
Yeah. I was gonna
But
say, what
but
another blessing that he had the double lots there.
yeah, but I have been known to put down an occasional Heineken or Bud double lot. So anyway, yeah, it's dude, what a great race. What a good time. Saturday, the weather sucked. I mean, it it was great and then it sucked. And
Yeah,
then it was
speaking of
great
monsoon, right?
and then it sucked. And then it was great and then it sucked. And then it was great and then we had a monsoon. Yeah, which monsoons in October, I'm not sure if that's, normal or not. So, but yeah, dude, what a great opportunity. Met a ton of great people. Became famous friends with a gentleman from Texas who drives a tri-hull, and actually, uh, I think he won one of the races this weekend.
Oh, sweet.
Made good friends with the um, tri-hull champion, the now tri-hull champion, which I don't have his name. I'm sorry, I didn't do my due diligence, but I was traveling today. Um, so yeah, anyway, dude, just rad, great event, a lot of fun, a
In
lot
your
of fun
hometown.
in my hometown. So of course, all my friends came by, hanging out with my good friends from Murphco, hanging out with my good friends from Elite Audio, So I was just like pretty rad um,
Good.
opportunity. I'm severely blessed. It's just I can't even explain it. So something that I have close to the top of my list to cover. How are we on time? We still good?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Good. I was trying to get through that before I get into this weekend and then the ensuing chaos coming up after that. So what I want to go to next is Cole Farrell, chief mechanic.
Oh man, I wasn't ready. I normally get the end part of the show. I'm caught off
Yeah,
guard
yeah.
here. That's
I
part of being a good crew chief is being ready for the unexpected.
yeah,
So
that's
watch
right.
this. No. Yeah, we had another District 38 race with my lifelong buddy Jake Young. And just to quickly recap, he was the guy who did his not first race, his first desert race last month at Plaster City.
Right.
And so within an hour, he went from dead last to third. And like, I don't know how you get more hyped up than that. Obviously, P1 would be pretty rad, but he was on fire to go racing. Like the second the new sign up opened for this round, which they called the Monster Mash, Jake was like, I swear, he must have been the first guy signed up or first pipe late signed up because he texted me, okay, bro, ready to go. I'm like, all right, hell yeah, let's do this again. So it was at the same location, Plaster City down outside of San Diego, kind of in between San Diego and Calamus. And this race was quite a bit different than the last one because it went from an hour on about a 30 mile total loop to now it's 25-mile loops 4 times. So it was they called it the Monster Mash, but it was a 100-mile race.
Dang.
And it was so funny because 2 Sundays ago, I was sitting in church and they're in the middle of the sermon, and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe we need to pit after the first lap, and maybe we'll just do a first lap check over and everything. Well, no, I don't want to take that much time. We'll pit after the second lap. So I felt horrible because I got out of church and I'm like, I don't remember what we talked about, but I think I have a good plan for this race now. Because that's where my mind was. So Jake was texting me back and forth, and we kind of figured out a strategy. And so just to wrap up this weekend really quick, he got an okay start. It was really hard to tell how dusty it was. He does wear fluorescent Troy Lee green, but even still, when you got 50 guys on your line all going 60 miles an hour kicking up dust, it was hard to tell. So all I know is he was pretty far back in the pack off the line. But his electric start worked this time. So I was grateful for that. So he came in and, dude, they split it up into 3 lines: the expert, intermediate, and novice. And he was on the novice line. Well, maybe 11 or 12 pros came in, and then Jake came through the first loop, starting on the 3rd line. And it was unbelievable. Like, we weren't even ready for him because it was his first loop, and I was going to catch a time anyway on how fast he was going. And it was just like, dude, I can't believe how fast this kid's cooking. And he comes across. They had nice thing is they had it split, so you could either go in the pits at 15 miles an hour or it brought you just to the right a couple hundred feet, and it was full green race course. So he's going over these whoops, and he's got his leg swag going on, and I mean, he just looked like he was having the time of his life. So he came in the first loop 43 minutes. So same thing, just like clockwork, 43, 45 minutes on a 25-mile loop on a 254 stroke. He came in, and we waved him down. Everybody had their job. We had his dad doing goggles, pep talk, and electrolyte drink. His brother was on the gas can. And then I was whispering sweet nothings in his ear, filling the Camelback. We had this all dialed. But he came in and he rolled in and was like, "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm having fun." "Well, you're flying." "Yeah, it's good. It's a good course." And was like, "Are you tired? Are you worn out?" "No, I'm having a good time." So it was basically like we were the ones like, "Are you sure you're not hurting? Are you sure you're okay?" And Jake, so stupid us, like Jake should have been like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm having fun. Like, let me go, So we had him in and out of the pits in about 2 minutes doing fuel, Camelback. It felt like an eternity though, but also at the same time, we were just like, it's a 100-mile race. Let's just take our time. Everybody's got their job. We'll do it right. So he left, and we're sitting there doing the math. And theoretically, if we refueled him after the second lap, he should be able to make it loop 3 and 4. But we started having our own doubts. We're like, well, it wasn't to the top, and he's running faster as the course goes. And so then we're sitting there thinking, and his brother and I were like, okay, well, we'll try to flag him in, but it's also split course. So all we can do is scream and yell and do everything we can to make him come in. But if not, like, it's in God's hands at that point, We'll see what happens. So he came in through the 3rd loop, and he's sitting down and he's putting, and he's coming in on the 3rd loop, which wasn't our plan. We're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, they threw me the checkered flag." So unfortunately, the leader of the expert caught him and lapped him with a half a mile to go. And so when the leader finishes, you finish. So we did the Monster Mash 75. But even still, I was picking his brain afterwards. I go, "Well, were you sad that you didn't get to go out for another loop? Or were you just so happy that the flagman saved you from another 25 miles?" And he sat there in his chair, and Jake goes, "Well, I don't know. I was ready to keep going. I was prepped to go lay the hammer down on the 4th lap." So that showed a lot of maturity from him, that he was, not, his tongue wasn't in the spokes. He wasn't dying coming in the last check and everything. So that was really cool. It was dusty and sunny all day. And I probably in half an hour after we got him off the bike, that same monsoon hit us in that valley.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, we're under the easy up, and the water's just filling up. And I mean, it just drenched the desert within seconds. And we all had a laugh. He's like, "Well, I just did 75 miles sucking dust, and now we have this beautiful rain, and I'm too tired to keep riding, So, of course, that's how it goes, but it was all right. And so in the pouring rain, we go over to the scoring tower, and we gave those guys a scoring tower. It's, desert, so it's the trailer.
Right.
We go to the scoring trailer, I should say. And we're like, hey, how are we looking? And they had all the equipment packed up. And they're like, well, we'll release it next week. And it's like, well, no, can you give us a little hint as to what's going on? No, because guys haven't come in yet. We're not done scoring. And it's like, damn, once again, that's so unsatisfying,
Oh yeah.
because the first time it was too hot to have the scoring equipment working, and this time it was raining, so they packed it up quick. So we get back to the truck, and we see his dad there, and his dad goes, oh no, I talked to those guys. Well, what did they say? And he starts telling this whole big long story about, well, this guy didn't finish, and this guy missed a check, and this penalized. And I was like, dude, okay, but what, at the end of your conversation, what happened? And he said, well, you for sure got first in your class, but I'm trying to figure out if you won the overall line for the novice class. So that was awesome. And so
Wow.
to fast forward all the way till last night, they had the preliminary results out, and it showed that he won by 26 seconds over 75 miles. And I started having like real, and I don't want to use the word anxiety, but I was definitely had this feeling of, man, we could have thrown it away with that slow stop. I kind of feel bad for Whispering Sweet, all this stuff's going through my head. And it's like, well, at the end of the day, we came what we wanted to do, but that was a scary close call. So to fast forward to last night, they officially put out the first results, and oh no, he beat second place by 16 minutes.
Oh wow.
So congrats to you, Jake Young, on your first place in 250 novice, District 38 AMA.
Hell yeah.
That was a physically big win. So
Yeah.
that was just, once again, it didn't even matter if he got last or first. It was just so fun. And obviously, I'll do anything to go out to the desert and help anybody. So
Right.
yeah, but
I have a question.
yeah,
On the pit stops, do they make the rider, do you have to kill the bike and the rider get off? Or?
you don't. No, you can have the bike running and fuel it and everything. So
you can hot fuel and you don't have to use a quick disconnect or
nothing like that. No,
no dry brake, nothing.
that would be that's what the rich kids have, or dry brakes. But
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
you don't have. It would be cool to have one, but right now we don't. Yeah.
When you get to the dry brake, just let me in on it, because I can help you out with a couple of secrets that the great Rob Muzzy told me about dry
All right,
brakes.
perfect. I know one of them, but I'm not going to say it on here because
and quick fuels.
Uh-huh.
So when that's going back to, dude, I understand your frustration in the pit. Having worked the pits in Vegas to Reno last year, not this year, last year, and fueling with stock fuel tanks and the razors and stock fuel caps and stock or standard off-road cans. If I were to do that again, I have some ideas.
perfect.
I would be better prepared to feel faster, because I totally get like the frustration level while you're waiting. We had three guys plus me. So there's a lot of times, especially between, I think it was pit 7 and 8, really long stretch, 48 miles from Tonopah through the valley and the rocks up to Luna, maybe somewhere in there. Mina, Luna, one of those two. Dude, big long stretch. So I knew the cars were going to take a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
But oh my God, just like standing there going empty, 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 it's like, please.
It just feels like an eternity,
Yeah. So have you mentally worked on your pit strategy for the next race, long race like that then?
I kind of want to get a vibe off of Jake too, because I don't know if he needed that, 2 minutes to kind of refocus or whatever. And I kind of want to know if Jake wants a longer pit like that to kind of get refocused and get some water, or if he's physically fit enough to where as fast as we can get the fuel in the bike, get him in and out. So, because I don't know if he likes having the moment of calmness. Now, had we known we had a 16-minute lead, I'd have been plenty fine with a 2-minute pit stop. But thinking that we won by 26 seconds, I couldn't believe how much everybody else was standing around. And his brother, Jesse, I love you, but dude, like, I wanted that fuel cap off the second the bike stopped. And I wanted that to be the last thing that he needed, and then gone. Instead, it was, how you doing? How's the bike feel? What's up? And it's like, dude, no, let's get him out. So
Yeah.
so back to my what I was trying to get to is my racer mentality is get in and out as fast as you can. But I'm also not the one who just did 50 miles, so I don't know if you need 30 seconds or not to refocus, because I've been sitting in the pits the last 2 hours and I'm ready to go, right? Like,
Right.
I'm ready to do my job. And so, yeah, we'll play with it.
I think, having been on both sides of that, for me, always as a racer was in and out, right? In and out, in and out. So, as a crew chief, I was always in and out. Like, it's funny because I was talking just the other day. I don't think it was us talking on the podcast about when I was go-karting.
Yeah, that was just us talking. Yep.
Yeah, we did one of the first long races, an enduro race. We ran a sprint cart that was 100cc single cylinder motor. And we'll get into all that at some point. Let's just say we were legal. It was 100 cc's. We ran the Yamaha on the enduro races because you're running 45 minutes on a road course like PIR or SIR, Portland International, Seattle International. So the first one we did was Seattle International. We had a 1-gallon fuel tank. I learned very quickly that we only had, it's 45-minute race. We only had 24 minutes of fuel.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, kind of a big problem.
Yep.
And no time to build a new fuel tank, no time to do anything. Eventually, we ended up with a 2-gallon tank that a friend of mine all tigged up for me out of aluminum, which
Rad.
was great. But we had a 1-gallon tank that sat between the driver's legs, attached to the steering column support. So, in practice the day before the race, we realized we're not going to have enough fuel, or I realized. And I'm doing my calculations. Okay, this is the lap times. If he can keep this lap time, blah, 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 then here's where we need to pit. And then counting on the driver to keep track of the laps.
Yeah.
It's like you need to look for the pit board every time you come around. Well, we didn't really use a pit board on the sprint stuff because I could get close enough. I could give them hand signals. After that race, we used a pit board no matter what, because he went past the pit board. At Seattle International, you kind of come up the hill, if you will, like the start is on the drag strip.
Oh, cool.
You run down the drag strip, down the shutdown, and make a sharp left, which the shutdown has a big compression right in the middle of it, which isn't that big a deal for like a funny car or a top fuel or top alcohol car. I'm sure they feel it.
Mm-hmm.
But in a go-kart, especially a sit-up cart where your crew chief, being me, is 100,000% committed to getting that thing as low as possible.
You're sending sparks.
Yeah, I ended up actually having to, after practice that night, we were back at the shop. I had to build an aluminum skid plate for the seat
Oh, wow.
because we ground the brand new form fit fiberglass seat flat.
That's rad. That's honestly really cool.
It is, but
I mean, it's scary, but looking back, it's funny.
well, yeah, at least I know. At least I know now why he was saying when I hit that little bump, the car felt a little twitchy for a second. Yeah,
Felt a little
until
compression in my spine or something.
yeah, yeah. Well, it was unloading the chassis
Should say.
on the seat. So, but anyways, he. I think they had him 100cc motor, 15,000 RPM. I ran. I will not tell you on the front. I ran a 77 tooth rear sprocket, which had very, very little clearance to the ground. But the car radar gunned at like 91.7 at the end of the straight. 100cc cart, sit up cart.
Okay, I kind of take back what I said because 100 miles an hour on the water is fast. 97 miles an hour in a go karts shouldn't happen.
91.7.
91.
But
Anything over 60.
that's really fast. That is really fast. And a lot of traffic because you're running multiple classes all
Oh, I
at
didn't even
once.
think about that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So they're running all the sit-up classes together. So you're running 125 direct drives, you're running 125 shifters, you're running 250 shifters.
Oh, that's a huge gap then.
Oh yeah, some of those guys are the shifter carts, not the sprint, the sit-up carts, the 250 shifter, I think it was, might have been the 125 shifter sit-ups were well over 100 miles an hour.
Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, and these guys, of course, are eating you up coming out of the corners. So when I had the pit now sign out, well, when my guy had the pit now sign out at the corner coming around the tower to the drag strip, um, you know, we ran 24. So I had an oversized pit board that had 24 and the sign was bright yellow with purple because that was our colors, purple and yellow. It was bright yellow, and he had written in black "Pit Now," or I had written. He took it down there, blew right past it because he was in a pack. Well, then I'm like, "Whoa, there he goes." I hope he's got enough fuel to make it another lap, And I was trying to be somewhat conservative. I knew I could do it on one stop,
Yep.
but I'm like, oh man, depends on how much he's reaching back there and leaning it out on the straights. And, because I built special handles on the jets, low and high jets, so that he could actually lean out. He could change the jet setting while he was driving.
So crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So
Sure, that's all outlawed now.
is it?
I don't know. I've never heard of anyone else doing it. And obviously it works. So
Yeah, it worked. I mean, two stroke, like lean is fast to a point,
right.
right? So once you learn where that point is, like 370, 350, you're golden, right? 375 cylinder head temp, 375, yeah, you're getting a little sketchy. 425, you're stuck. It's over. Yeah. Oh, that's a horrible sound too. We stuck one. I'll get into that sometime. We stuck one of our sprint motors pretty good. I was it was a open practice, and I was experimenting with some fuel mixture combinations. Yeah.
Hey,
So
you're just trying to get the best out of the equipment.
Yeah, within sort of the rules
Yeah,
as they were
guidelines.
written. So as they were written at the time. Um, but anyways, yeah, dude. So like I totally get it. In the pit, it's like as a crew chief, I want in and out, but I never really cared if it's the rider's job to be ready, right?
Hmm.
Your job is, uh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, young Mr. Young,
Not going to hurt my feelings. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hurt his feelings. Go
but
for it.
your job is to go 100 miles as fast as you possibly can, as hard as you possibly can, and preferably not die.
Preferably.
Yeah,
Because getting picked up by the sweepers is embarrassing.
right, right. So, and your job, this is my take on it. Your job is to get that bike in and out as quick as possible. Geez, 2 minutes. You should have changed front and rear tires, front brakes. You probably could have bled the brakes,
Yeah. Just for the hell of it.
hit the treadmill, warmed up a little
Yeah.
bit. No, I'm
No
sorry.
kidding.
That seems, I don't know. That seems excessive.
It, it just, we'll take it for what it's worth because we're just getting our feet wet in this desert racing thing, right?
For sure.
And so, man, I don't know how to nicely say this because it's not against anybody, but it's like if we start taking this more seriously, like, and if we start chasing a championship next year, which there was conversations about that last night. Hopefully it happens. Hopefully we can come up with the money to do it. But I don't want to take the fun out of it, but I'm also like, we need to do this well, you know?
Yes,
Like,
absolutely, absolutely. And that's, honestly, that's probably one of my flaws when it comes to racing, be involved in a race team, especially if I'm running it and responsible for, the vehicle and stuff. I kind of take the fun out of it. Um, Probably because I'm like, okay, we're here. We want that $12 trophy.
absolutely. We just spent $500 to get in the gate. We're going to win that $12 trophy.
Yeah, exactly. And and that was something that was really foreign for me. Keep in mind, I've never done any real desert racing. Like I've done GP stuff, but that's not desert racing, right?
Similar but different. Yeah. Yeah.
Similar but different, and really not not near the. I mean, you're racing motorcycles in Southern California. I'm racing quads in Southern Washington, Northern Oregon, not near the competition.
But a race is a race, okay?
Well, yeah, I agree, but still, it's one of those things where the more serious you take it, you I know for you, you're still going to find fun because you need that. Like, right? The whole racing thing, once you've done it, it's like worse than heroin or crack or meth. Not that I've done any of those, but dude, it was 27 years before when I quit circle track racing. It was 27 years before I went back to a race at a circle track
That's so nuts.
because I was so afraid.
Yeah.
And honestly, I still want to buy a dwarf car.
You deserve a dwarf car.
Yeah. See, I agree. I do. I do
Hey, your
deserve
birthday's
a
coming
dwarf
up.
car.
Literally
That's
like
right.
tomorrow. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
there's one hiding in the hotel room there.
Maybe you can find a picture of one and send it to the Striking Viking and tell her to get that.
Just send her, I don't know, but like I saw it online.
Yeah.
What do you think?
He would love this.
Plus, you could do neighborhood watch on it. Drive around.
I
Make sure everybody's
could.
good.
I could.
Check
For
the mail.
sure. Man, you are a solution giving son of a gun.
I just like fun more than anyone, and I'll make
Yes.
up any excuse I need to have it.
Yeah.
But Jake was making fun of me all week, and rightfully so. Even after this last episode came out, he goes, "We did it, we won," and I'm like, "You know what I mean, bro?" Like, I felt so gratified to get to be a part of it and everything.
Yes.
And so then I said, "Hey, man, congrats on the P1." And he goes, "We all caps did it." All right, I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it does. It takes a team. I mean, no matter what, if you weren't there, set up, ready, if you weren't helping getting the bike ready, hopefully you got it tuned better this time.
Better. It's I don't know. I'm ready to send him a gift card to buy like Electron carb or something, because I've about had it with it.
What is we can go into that after. If there's anything carb wise I can do to help, my address.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
You know how to get to my house.
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well load up a damn TT6 what is that? A
The
TT600?
TT600. Yep.
Might as well load that one. Load that carb up and bring it out with you.
That was our backup bike. Now, obviously, it's not a 250, but the transponder's on his helmet. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all stickers
cool.
now. They're barcodes.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and at sign up, you scan them. You don't have the big orange hockey pucks anymore.
Sure. Yeah. I know they use the here being where I'm at right now, which we'll get into in a minute. They use a zip tie transponder onto the bike.
There you go. It's honestly probably the most accurate way for pro racing. But yeah. So but yeah, I told my dad about the trials and tribulations with this WR250, and my dad might love Jake more than me, which is perfectly acceptable. So my dad's sending me all these articles from Thumper Talk, and he's like, "Here's what's wrong with this carb. Here's what you have to do. Here's the trick to him." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll relay this to Jake." And he's like, No. You do your homework first, and then talk to Jake. And then if Jake wants to go test and tune, tell him I'll meet him out in Imperial Valley on a Wednesday." I'm like, all right. So now we got Mike Farrell on board. It's
nice.
Turning into a family ordeal.
Nice. Now all you have to do is no offense, nut up and dig into that carburetor, son.
Yeah. See, he works full time, right? Just like the rest of us. So
right.
And if I wasn't clear enough, Jake, come drop the bike off at my house and I'll work on it while you're working 14-hour shifts, man. Like,
right.
I got nothing to do. So
yeah, that's what you should be doing.
I can't make it worse. So
probably.
Yeah, but don't say that. My guy doesn't know that.
Yeah, right. Jake, actually just cut all that.
Yeah, just gone. Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, don't listen to this one, Jake.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, he listened. He actually started following me on social media. So thank you, Jake.
Yeah.
And well done.
Well done.
Shout out.
And so the next race was going to be Veterans Day weekend. And it was going to be tough because I have a wedding literally that Friday night. And so then I was going to get home from the wedding at midnight, drive out 4 a.m. to make sure I'm there by 7 a.m. at the latest.
Whew.
And so I'm like, all right, well, like I said, I'm committed. Like, I want to go do this. And then Jake just texted me today and said, "Oh, I also have a wedding on race day. So next race will either be December or we're going to hit it hard in January and start chasing points." So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You should be sure and ask him, like, is the wedding a family member? Like,
I did ask that, and it was our bro that we've known since elementary school. And I was like, damn it. Okay, you have to go to that one.
I guess.
Because I was going to say, if it's your lady's friend, she can always make more friends,
Right. Yeah. They probably don't like him anyway.
Right.
He's
the new guy.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So
where the heck are you right now?
Right now, I am in beautiful Prescott Valley, Arizona, for round,
5?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Round 4 of the AMA Pro Endurocross Series, coming this Saturday, the 22nd, at Findlay Toyota Center. Man, we got a lot of Anderson Toyota Havasu Classic, Findlay Toyota Center, Toyota's just everywhere right now. Which
Thank you for
reminds
putting
me,
the money into the sports.
absolutely. And
Toyota,
did
you
you
know?
see speaking of Toyotas, the picture of the Toyota I Snapchatted you today from the gas station?
I don't think that's what Toyota's intending on marketing. Was that an
I think
80?
that's a Toyota Outback.
God, that was bad. For the listeners, quickly describe it. It was on, it looked like 33-inch mud swampers.
Probably 31s because the car
31s.
was small, so small, but it might have been 33s. Yeah, and it was old beater, I think, a Corolla or a Cressida. Looked like it was probably on like a Suzuki Samurai frame, maybe.
That actually makes a lot of sense. How they got the
Yeah,
thing so jacked up.
it was on a full frame vehicle. They didn't even take the trailer hitch off of the vehicle. Might have been S10.
Whatever it was a monstrosity.
Yeah, might have been a Ford Ranger.
Hey, you don't say that.
Could have been.
But yeah,
But yeah, four-wheel drive. It was quite the yeah. Wow, it was just something, man. It was,
looked like a Gambler 500 car. That's exactly what it.
it really did. It really did for sure. Um, let me see. Ooh. Yeah. So
Here we go for our YouTube family.
for the YouTubers, there it is.
I don't see it's in better shape than my mom's Camry that she had of that year.
So yeah, I did end up taking a picture of the front end because it had like SR5 front end on. I'll bet you it's on a Toyota SR5 frame.
Hey, I like the light rack up top. Doesn't have any
See the
lights, but it's got
fenders?
the rack. Oh, I can barely see it, but yep. And I can also tell that's the Pilot in Havasu.
That is the actually it's the Pride
Oh, oh,
at exit 25 because the Pilot is always a cluster to get in and out of with the trailer.
oh. Yep.
So and Pride at exit 25, shout out, has cheaper fuel prices by today it was 30 cents a gallon cheaper for diesel.
And when you do the ungodly amount of miles you do every year, that
Yeah,
adds up.
when you're putting 25 gallons in a shot, 30 cents a gallon or 50 cents a gallon makes a big difference. So anyway, yeah. So what else you got? Anything? Oh
No, just
yeah,
yeah. So you're in Prescott for
Prescott. Get to see Taddy, Cody, the whole crew. The whole crew. Gonna be some good racing, I think. The track is very interesting. Very, very interesting. So there's some pretty cool obstacles. I talked to the track builder extraordinaire, Randy Poulter, who also is builds supercross tracks. He was involved in the Daytona, the outdoor part of the Daytona track, did a lot of
rad.
that. Yeah, dude's an animal when it comes to equipment. Watching him work a piece of equipment is just unheard of, just unbelievable. I will share this with you, and it won't matter to the YouTubers because you won't see it for a while. But how's this for an obstacle?
Yeah, that literally looks like World Trials. So for those of
Yeah.
you listening, it's I mean, I guess it's technically a drainage pipe
Yep.
held up by three or four logs.
That are planted very deeply in the ground
It looks like if a caveman tried to make a rocket ship,
for a
and
TP.
that's an obstacle.
Yeah. So they're actually, this is in the middle of a corner. So you have to go around the pipe.
Okay.
So it's actually kind of the middle exit of a corner. So, and then you can see the jump in the background,
Yep.
and that will be watered. That's the takeoff, and that will be watered.
Remember we were just talking about water features at Endurocross and how they've
Yes.
been gone for a while?
How rad is that?
They heard us. We're worldwide.
Yeah, Randy is just, he's unbelievably good at what he does. So, and very creative, very, very creative. So I'm pretty excited to see. I'm actually more excited to hear the pro racers' reaction to that obstacle to obstacle, or obstacle in the middle of the corner that you have to find your way around somehow. Should be interesting. Yeah, other than that, man, I wrap this up, and then I will be on crew. I will be on site for Camp Razor with 6 Speed Polaris.
That's right.
Sunday night. I'll be in Glamis until a week and a couple days, I think. Week and 2 or 3 days.
So you're going to get to Glamis this Sunday night.
Correct.
Jeez, dude. You're going to be so close to home yet so far.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's going to be super rad. So I'm really looking forward to it. Camp Razor's back. It's very cool. I guess I'll be doing the boneyard and back ops again, which will be really exciting. Well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of interesting stories to tell after that. But yeah, man, I'm excited. They're going to have a couple of really cool bands there this year. Pennywise.
That's a pretty big draw.
Yeah, and I actually face to face.
So yep.
Gonna have a little
famous
more,
by Jeremy LaGrasse, Art and Terra Firma 2.
Right?
So both of those are very big SoCal bro bands.
Yeah, so it should be pretty cool. It's gonna be a good time, it always is, and it's a lot of work and a lot of nights in a rented trailer in the desert, but we usually eat good and we work hard, and so you sleep good. So I'm excited for that.
Very cool.
And then, yeah, post Camp Razor, I'm going to go up and actually visit the kicker crew at SEMA for a day or two, which should be a good time. And then post that, I believe, is round 6 for the Endurocross in Reno.
What a swing.
So yeah.
I mean, not that you ever stop, but I'm thinking in Sancho terms, you've been on the road since beginning of September, and you're not going to really come home and stay home till end of November.
Yeah, third-ish week or so, right before Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Jeez.
And then hopefully everything will work out, and I'll be able to do the Red Bull second annual Red Bull Sand Scramble in December in Glamis. So, I'm very blessed, very, very blessed. It's a good time to thank our partners, Kicker Performance Audio. Man, I really appreciate everything that they do for me. I'm really proud to represent them and to be able to go to events and represent them, and just have all these adventures that I can share with people, and use their products. I've got them in my boat, I've got them in my car, I've got them on my head right now. So I don't own a motorcycle yet, but tomorrow's my birthday, so there's a possibility there. Yeah. Other than that, bomber eyewear, Bomber Floating Eyewear. Oh, I forgot kicker.com. Be sure and check it out. Yeah, no matter what you need. And then Bomber Floating Eyewear, I've got I wear wraps, as everybody knows. They've always taken good care of me. The glasses are incredibly durable. This particular pair is over a year old, which means it's been on my head through at least 40 sweaty events and never fallen off. Not to mention all the boat days and lake days. I don't even take them off when I jump in the lake anymore. They stay.
Why bother?
So, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, man, it's so that is bombereyewear.com for all your audio needs, kicker.com. And man, I'm glad you guys did such a great job out in the desert. I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm really stoked you had success. Congratulations to the whole team.
Thank you.
Not just Mr. Young, although he had the bars. It's a team effort for sure, and you guys are doing great. Just get him on that bike, and you don't have to worry about if he needs a break.
Yeah, you're only hot when you stop, so keep riding.
Yeah, air cooled, baby. Rule of air cooled. So, yeah. You got anything else, big dog?
No, man, just have fun this weekend. Send all your selfies as always. I'll be following the coverage as close as I can here from home base, and can't wait to touch base early next week.
I think you can follow it live on Ride TV.
Ride TV, okay.
Yeah, ryde.tv.com.
Perfect.
I believe it is. Yeah, and there should be a link in their Instagram somewhere. So yeah, other than that, dude, I was sad I missed the season finale of the American Flat Track. Volusia, Florida. They ended up running a doubleheader. We already had things laid out for other events with kickers, so I did not get to go. Looked like it was some outstanding racing. I believe Mr. Jared Mees wrapped up championship number 8, perhaps.
Unheard of. That's
Possibly
great job.
7, maybe 8. You are in the Jared Mees era. And he did not cruise. I believe I sent you that video.
Yeah, where he's on one wheel and hardly coming out of the corner.
Yeah, coming out of the corner, and the bike just hooked up gnarly and just stood up on him. Wow. Holy cow. Not an easy run. If go to American Flat, I think it's American Flat Track at American Flat Track on Instagram. They have the video on their Instagram. So be sure and check out all our sponsors. Go to at the Premix Podcast, which I'm thankful to have the Premix Podcast behind us and their mastermind, Cole Trickle Dickle Farrell, here on the mic with me. Dude, always supporting. Much love, bro.
Much love, brother.
And then Kicker Performance Audio, kicker.com, Bomber Floating Eyewear, bombereyewear.com. Other than that, we got the bills paid, so I think we should roll out.
We'll go get some dinner and then go watch the races this weekend, would you?
Looking forward to it, brother. Looking forward to it. Have a great weekend. Y'all take care. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Even if you don't like us, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. I don't care if you like us or not. Just subscribe. And
do it out of spite.
Download. Your favorite, on your favorite streaming
platform.
Thank you, Mr. Cole, Sir Mix-a-Lot Farrell.
You're welcome.
I think that's a wrap for episode 11. This is Mad Dog out.